There you go. It's live.
Hey, welcome to the Northwest Georgia football playoff preview roundtable. We'll give everybody a few minutes to get in here, and
Yeah.
before we start discussing everything, we'll work our way down from 6A down to single A tonight. We'll tell you what we think is going to happen for the rest of the season. Um, can't wait to see it all play out on the field, because our talk's meaningless when it comes to what's really going to happen. But hey, if you guys want to send in your comments, your predictions, we got a live comment section. We can get your questions up here on the screen, and we'll do our best to answer them. Hopefully, we'll have a few more people join us before the show's over. Um, John McKay, if you want to get back on, man, I think you were having a little reception trouble. If you want to try it again.
Alrighty.
All right. You guys want to start?
Want to throw the large classification up, and
Yeah, you guys want to start talking about the big boys first?
that's fine with me. Hey, let me hit this a few points. I know we're not really here to talk about this, but a few quick hitters.
Give everybody a chance to get in here, finish up their steak.
Few things that come out of the GHSA meeting the other day that actually pertain to football. They're going to allow girdles and thigh pads, I guess, so you can go low, on the like 11 on 11s, I guess. I don't know.
I guess even 7 on 7s, right? I guess.
Yeah, I guess you could too, yeah.
Girdle, thigh pads, but no football pants. So,
what kind of sense does that make? I mean, why not knee? Anyway, the next thing is probably the most interesting and that most impactful thing is the increase the multiplier from 2.0 to 3.0. So
yeah, I saw where they weren't going to use it for the single A schools though. The single A schools weren't going to be affected by that.
Yeah, the last one
2 and up. So that's going to move quite a few schools.
Let's get Paul in here. Hey, Paul, what's going on?
Oh, he was there.
Yeah. I did see where I guess if everything goes as planned, Rome and Cartersville will play each other next year. That hadn't happened in quite a while. That'll be huge around this area.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that'll be
people have been calling for that game. Yeah, I'm about to say people have been calling for that game for years, man. That game would had 15,000 people at it every year.
Yeah.
What is number?
Cartersville Stadium hold that?
I don't know if Cartersville will. Yeah, I know Rome's get about 12 probably in there if they put in those bleachers on the side.
Yeah, I mean you'd have to move that place. I mean you can move it down to Kennesaw State or somewhere. I mean you'd have to get something bigger.
Welcome in, guys.
You guys got me now?
Yeah, we got you.
All right. Sorry about that. I'm new to all this, so apologize for the delay there.
It happens to us all the time.
You got a copy on us, Levi? I don't know if Levi can hear us.
I'm trying to see what that last rule is down there. Proposal to remove that prevents schools from being bumped. Yeah. Okay. So they're going to let schools get bumped up into 7A, huh?
Yeah. And then the last part tells about what you talked about, keeping schools in 1A if they have 1A numbers. So.
Yeah. I saw where schools like Carrollton and stuff are getting bumped up to 7A. That'll be a challenge for them up there.
Yeah. That'll redo some of the regions, the larger regions from 5A, 6A up.
Well, guys, you want to start with single A and work our way back, or you want to start with the big ones, work our way down? We got a couple of single A guys in here. Double A.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's start with whatever you guys want.
All right, man, let's roll it.
Start way down at the bottom then. Well, there.
7A private. They get started this Friday. I mean, five teams. I mean, 4 of them are guaranteed to get in. I mean, I think Walker's pretty bad. So, I mean, I see the other 4 getting in. It's just a matter of what order they're going to finish this year.
Yeah, this particular slide, like I was telling Chris earlier, is not really, who's in the race quite yet because they haven't played any games. But you're looking at who might win the thing. And I would give Darlington probably the best shot from what I've
Yeah.
seen so far.
Yeah, I like Darlington. North Cobb Christian's always tough. I mean, they play Bowden this Friday night, so we'll get a good look at them. Mount Perrin's not bad. I think Mount Perrin will slide into the 3, and Christian Heritage 4. I think that Darlington Mount Perrin game this Friday is going to be huge, man, because they have a common opponent this year in Kings Ridge Christian, and they both beat them 21-7, 21-14. So I'm curious to see how Darlington does against them.
Yeah, and Darlington they also have a win against Heritage of Catoosa.
Yeah. Bremen. I mean, they've beaten Bremen this year. And they got their best player back last week. But Patrick Shelley's been out, the first 6 weeks of the season. He came back last Friday night and was one of the top 5 players in the state.
What's going on, fellas?
How's it going?
Michael, what's up, buddy?
What's going on?
Yeah, I
We're
feel
sitting
like
there talking about region.
Darlington
Well-
uncovered a good a good quarterback while Shelley was down. But now that Shelley's back, they're going to be, head and shoulders above everybody else. Where I think Walker and North Cobb are both, just overall down. So I think it's going to be between Christian Heritage and Mount Perrin. They're battling for that's number 2 seed.
Yeah, I kind of hated it for is his name Jack Payne? Wasn't he the backup that came in? I mean,
Yeah.
the guy did really good. I mean, he played really well the first half of the season, man. Now with Shelley back, I guess he's going to be splitting time. Or from what
Somebody
I
told
heard
me
from
they're going to be
Bremen game.
working somebody told me they're going to be working Shelley in a lot of different looks and still trying to give Payne reps. So I don't know. I mean, Shelley's kind of a generational type athlete, but Jack Payne is just a pure pocket passing quarterback machine.
And I guess that Christian Heritage team is always tough. They got Solomon Locke up there. He's going to be a 1,000-yard rusher. Christian Thomas, quarterback, threw for close to 2,000 yards last year.
Christian Heritage lost a lot of talent. I had them earlier this year against Kings Ridge, and it was a pretty good game. But Solomon Locke, man, pound for pound in this region, next to Patrick Shelley, he's the next best player in this region. Like that game I had against Kings Ridge, he ran for 200 yards. He had a touchdown reception. He had 15 tackles, and he had a safety. Oh, and he popped the popcorn too. he did it all. Like he is a north-south kind of runner. I mean, he is a load for Christian Heritage. But Christian Heritage, one of my AAU basketball players just recently joined the team. He was a pretty good player at Dalton. He was a quarterback, Ashton Blackwell. So Ashton, I think, returned a punt or a kick this past week for a touchdown. So that gives him a little bit more explosiveness. So I know a lot of times one player may not make a difference, but Ashton he's a big time player. There's a big time boost for Christian Heritage.
And that's kind of why I think Christian Heritage has a leg up on Mount Perrin. Mount Perrin's solid, but I think that Christian Heritage has a few more athletes. So I see that Darlington and the 1 spot, Heritage in the 2, and Mount Perrin in the 3.
Yeah. Like I said, I'll know more after Friday. Yeah, I'll know more after Friday when North Cobb Christian and Bowden square off. But I know North Cobb made a coaching change in the off season, and I hear they're down a little bit. So we'll see how that turns out Friday night. All right, next up, we got a big one for a lot of people in the room here. 6A.
Boy,
that's kind of my area of expertise in a way. Not to cut you off there, Levi. Obviously, I'm a little biased. I have a son that plays for Trine, but 6A is going to get really interesting with the upcoming schedule. Bowden's obviously probably the best team in the region, and I think the second and third place game is going to be the Trine Mount Zion game, most likely if everybody stays healthy. The good thing for Trine is that's a home game on senior night, so maybe that'll help. But Gordon Lee and R. Mercy are both pretty tough football teams, so we'll see how that goes.
And
Yeah,
speaking
anybody
of
who
our
watched
mercy,
all 4 quarters of Mount Zion and Armurchie could see that Armurchie wasn't just hanging around. Armurchie was playing competitive football.
like, what's been the change out there, y'all? Because, I mean, I've been a referee football about 10, 12 years, and this is the best I've ever heard on a Murchie football team, has been. So does Murchie have a legitimate chance of making the playoffs?
Oh,
They
yeah.
do.
Armurchie's
they
in the
do.
playoffs. They're going to make the playoffs.
I think so. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because
I think that's a good question for. I think that's a good question for Lawrence.
Yeah,
I agree.
I think the thing there is Coach Green's had 4 years, to get his system implemented. They have a very strong core of sophomores on that team. The sophomore
Yeah.
team, when they were in the 8th grade, were 5-5 against some very good teams around here.
Yeah, Lawrence knows this more than me. I don't think it's so much everything that Coach Green has done. I think they were just a little shallow with athletes, and the middle school crop that's been working its way up has more talent, has a little more depth, and I see them and as a sure thing in playoffs, and they'll be battling for the number 3 spot between Gordon Lee and I guess Trine and Mount Zion.
Mount Zion.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, Trine, it's probably going to Trine, Mount Zion, and Bowden. I'm assuming all 3 of them are probably going to be 1, 2, 3, whatever order you want to put it in. So I guess maybe the Gordon Lee game for the 4 seed.
I can see that.
Yep. And also, I mean, none of us seem to have a good beat on Best Academy. I mean, we know what we've heard, but I'm looking forward to region play getting started so we can get a little bit more of an idea of what Best Academy has, what kind of team they're fielding.
The numbers don't lie. Yeah, just their points against their defense has allowed so many points every time. I don't think their defense can even slow down Tryon or for that matter. I was around Gordon Lee a lot in the preseason and the camps, and they were terrible. I mean, terrible. And their progression in the first 3 games of this season is as good as any of I've seen. Gordon Lee has turned the corner.
Well, I mean, and again, as a 6A guy who played in 6A, has followed 6A and who has a son who plays in 6A, Gordon Lee's one of those teams who, talent has a lot to do with it. And some years you have good talent, some years you don't. But Gordon Lee's one of those they're just a tough football team, and they're a team who almost every season kind of gets better as the season goes on.
Well, Paul can tell us a little bit more about this. The team that played Bowden, I do not think would beat Mount Zion, but they've made some changes with this freshman quarterback, Logan Eller,
they have,
in the position he really needs to be, with a tailback and a linebacker.
Well, and again, my son plays for Trine, so I'm a little biased, but the game we played against Bowden was not a very good football game. We could not throw the football very well. We had a couple turnovers. We had 3 different issues on some snaps to the punter. Again, Bowden was a better football team than we were, but I felt like we gave them at least 14 points. So, we'll see what happens when we play Mount Zion and Gordon Lee and Armurchie. But if we can eliminate those mistakes, I feel really good about trying going forward.
And I had Tryon
as an underdog.
I mean, Tryon has athletes all over the field. I'm talking about, man, the Will Banks kid, the Parks, Rob Brown, number 8, number 4. I mean, they got athletes all over. Cole Kevin, number 7, he looks like a giant, man. I'm talking about this kid. I had Tryon last 2 years. I don't never remember this kid being this tall and big. Like, he looks like he's 6'6", 6'7" now. I mean, he is a Division I football player, and the Tryon coaching staff, the coaches are definitely engaged. And I think Tryon, and honestly, I think Tryon, Mount Zion, and Bowden, I don't know how the state playoff brackets are set up, what region they open it up with. But I think Mount Zion, Trinity, and Bowden all can get first round wins. And I really, Byron with that man, he could make it in the state playoff after Thanksgiving to December. I think they are that good to maybe get that far. Now, you know, when you talk about Class A public, you get to talking about the elite school, Irwin County, Brooks County, Dublin, a lot of those schools. But when you got a good quarterback in high school, that can take you a long way. A long way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the
Well,
problem.
I think
6A
making that change at QB more than anything is going to make Tryon. I mean, Rob Brown is already just a touchdown machine, and them moving Logan Eller around and putting that Cade Smith kid in at quarterback, I feel like is going to balance their attack out. So if they become more of a passing threat, shoot, man, Tryon's a real threat.
Yeah, I think the problem 6A has come playoff time, though, is who they match up with first round. They get 8A, man, which is Commerce, Washington Wilkes, Lincoln County. I mean, that's stout competition right from the get-go.
Yeah, so I think your number 1 and 2 have a good shot at making it an extra round in there. Your number 3 and 4, real hard time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and that makes the Tryon, depending on what happens, that makes the Tryon Mount Zion game so big because getting that home playoff game is going to be a big deal.
Yeah. I think the big game this Friday is that Gordon Lee Mount Zion game. You know, when I was doing the numbers, running through everything, if Gordon Lee beats Mount Zion on Friday night, it kind of makes it tough for Armurchie and Best to make the playoffs without beating Tryon. They're going to have to beat Tryon to make the playoffs if Gordon Lee wins Friday.
No, exactly right.
And Tryon right now, I think, like I said, probably the second best team in the region. So,
but I'm really fascinated that Armurchie is even in the discussion, because at the beginning of this year, I put 0% chance of Armurchie being in any playoff discussion.
No, they deserve a lot of credit.
Playoff discussion? That's a question. Who has ever put? And I'm not taking no shot at Armurchie, but Armurchie has been known for girls basketball. We have never put Armurchie in that category of and
cheerleading state championship.
Cheerleading.
Yeah, they won a state championship. But Armurchie is a team, man, that you could see Coach Green and Coach Green was at the little kids practice, like the pee-wee practices. And he goes to the middle school team practices. And he is another coach that is real passionate, not just about his football team, but about the entire Armurchie Indians community. And
Lawrence can maybe testify to this. They got a new principal over there just a few years ago named Road Armor, and that dude has created this whole fired up atmosphere around the hallways and everything. I think he's kind of connecting with the kids too, getting them to come out, because in the past 10 years, Armurchie has had a couple dozen solid athletes walking the hallways that they could not convince and drag out to the football field. I had them on the wrestling mats. They were all over those hallways, and they would not come out for Coach Muhammad or the previous coaches. They just weren't interested in football because it was a losing program. This new principal's got a lot of energy over there.
Yeah, I think it has a lot to do with the principal. It has a lot to do with the coaching staff out there. Coach Green's added some assistant coaches that really make the kids want to play for them. And like Michael Atwater said, Coach Green goes out and gets involved in the community. I mean, so these kids step up from the 8th grade and they're ready to be Indians.
He seems like a player's coach
tonight,
too.
Sir.
All right, well, let's move on to the 7AA here. This is going to be a fun one to watch.
5
Yeah. We'll hit 5AA. This is the I think the region championship game is this Friday night. Haralson County traveling down to Callaway.
What do you guys think about that Haralson County Callaway game?
Haralson's solid, but I'm telling you, Callaway, whew.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw Callaway in the preseason play Darlington. At the time, I didn't realize how good Darlington was going to be, but they played the Tigers pretty close in that preseason game. So I don't know if Haralson can control the ball Clay Hyatt, picks up 3-4 yards a chunk, and they burn some time off the clock, I think it'll be a close game.
I just feel like Harrelson's kind of a one dog show down there. They they're a good team, but they rely so heavily on one player. That always worries me.
He's a big dog, though.
He's up. That big dog will hunt.
Yeah, Clay Hyatt, man.
Man,
Clay Hyatt he's Tim Tebow-ish. That's what I call him. Like, he's a quarterback that's going to get you. He's going to have more rushing yards than throwing yards. But that's okay with what they like to do down there in Harrison County. The thing about this Harrison County and Cali. Go ahead.
I was going to say, he only needs to complete about 5 to 7 key passes, and his legs will do the rest.
He might not even need to complete 5 or 6. He might just need to go 2 for 4, 50 yards, 1 touchdown, but then they go run for 420 yards. So, that's what they do.
Sounds like Stetson Bennett.
Yeah. Hey, wait a minute. Hey, no Georgia hate on here, guys. Okay, it's all about
no. That's no hate. That's no hate.
Okay, because I'm gonna throw a flag on the play if we talk about Stetson Bennett again. Okay, now don't get my blood boiling. Goodness gracious. The thing about that Harrison County and Callaway game last year, if I'm not mistaken, I was originally supposed to have the game, but they moved it to like a Tuesday or Wednesday or something like that. And Harrison County beat Callaway, but Callaway ended up winning the state. And Callaway, I'm from LaGrange, and Callaway is the new LaGrange down there, meaning a lot of the talent, because they've done a lot of rezoning, a lot of the talent that used to be at LaGrange when LaGrange was winning all the state championships or, had a really good teams, it's over at Callaway now. And they got a lot of skilled players down there. But I think the game that's probably going to be more intriguing, I know we're talking about Harrison County and Callaway, but if I'm not mistaken, doesn't Heard County and Temple play this weekend?
Yep, Heard at Temple.
And the loser may be out.
Yeah, this is the strongest division, man. These teams, those 5 teams right there, man, they can win some ball games, man.
Yep. That's one of the, in my opinion, that's one of the craziest regions in the state of Georgia. I mean,
hell yeah.
There are a lot of good football teams, and you just never know from year to year or week to week what's going to happen with that region.
Yeah, with that region, that's one region that I always hate to look at because I always know one team has to be out of the playoffs, and there's 5 good ones there.
How about
Nick? That was my same comment, but like Atwater was saying, that that one guy is pretty damn potent.
Yeah, he averages 8.9 yards a carry. He's got over 700 yards on the season.
So who you guys picking Friday night? So I can work on my pick 'em here. I'm going to go against everybody else.
I like Harrelson. I like Harrelson County in the plus 14.5.
Oh, okay. You doing the number? I finna say.
Woo!
I finna say.
Yeah.
Now that I can get on board with, but heads up, I don't know.
The spread makes it tough. Makes it tough.
Yeah.
That's
and
a
one
big
thing
spread.
we didn't mention about 5AA here is that's who matches up with our local 7AA.
Yep.
So in the playoffs, first round.
Yep,
and let me tell you, the number 4 team over here could beat the number 1 team over there.
Yeah.
It could happen.
I don't know, man. Fannin County, man.
Fannin County, yeah.
Man, they tough, man. Self Reese and company.
No, I agree. And since they put Seth Reese at QB, they're a more solid team. But I was over there watching them take a thrashing from Sonoraville.
Oh yeah. Sonoraville did beat. They beat them 30-something to nothing, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it was 35-0. I mean, it was a close ball game up for 3 quarters, but when the dam broke, it broke.
So let's start with Michael Atwater, and we'll work our way up the screen. You're 4.
Yep.
For 5AA.
Callaway 1, Harrison County 2. Oh,
You look at Bremen
2, Bremen 2, Harrison County 3, and Heard County 4.
Verdict?
I'm going the other way. I'm going Callaway, Harrelson, Bremen, Temple.
Paul?
I'm going to go Callaway, Harrelson, Bremen and Hurd. I just, and that's just a guess. I mean, that region's a toss up every year, but that's what I'm going to go with.
Chris?
Callaway, Harrelson, Bremen, and Hurd.
Yeah, I'm going to go Callaway, Harrelson, Bremen, and Hurd, and I hate it because Temple's got probably the best individual player I've seen play this year live, and quarterback Cam Vaughn.
Love that kid.
But the kid needs some people to throw to, you know?
Yeah.
He's going to be a heck of a senior
And
next year.
Not to throw it back to 6A, but how good does that look for Bowden to have beat Bremen and Temple in comeback win?
Ben?
Yeah, I'll take Callaway, and then I think I'll go Harrelson, Bremen, and Hurd.
All right, let's jump over to 7AA. Everybody's favorite. Surprise, there's Dade County up at the top right now.
Yeah, Dade.
I don't think
it goes down this Friday though. Dade and Fannin, right?
No, Dade and Model this Friday.
Dade and Model.
I'm pretty tight with old Coach Posted up there. And man, I tell you what, he brags about having those kids drinking the water. He's got he's got them believing they can win any game. Yeah. They were ready to go put a whooping. They said they're going to hang 10 touchdowns on trying, the week that got canceled. They think that they can go, they think they can beat anybody. Confidence is high.
Yeah, I like Fannin here just for the fact that Fannin gets Chattooga and Dade at home, which is huge. It's a heck of a ride over there to Fannin County.
Yeah. Lawrence, you mentioned that 2.5 hour drive, and I have not been to Fannin County yet, but everybody who goes says, "Oh, that's what a football stadium is supposed to look like." They kind of are blown away by that.
Yeah, they have a huge crowd every game. They come out with the smoke and tunnel, and I mean, just the whole town's fired up about football over there. It's a fun place to see.
Yeah, I had them last year in the playoffs. I had them up at Place Academy last year. On Place Academy at Fannin in the playoff game up there last year, and it was a nice atmosphere up there.
I think the big question here is going to be who's the 4 seed.
Flip a coin.
No, there's no question.
You think Pepperell's going to slide in there?
Yeah, I don't think that. And I mean, I like a lot of the guys from the model program, but Model's wins are going to be Coosa and Gordon Central, and I mean, I don't know. I was at the Lafayette game, and those two teams, if you give them a flashlight, they couldn't find the end zone. It was amazing how disconcerted both of those guys were. And I don't think Lafayette wins another one either. They just got a lot of pieces of the puzzle, and none of them are in the right spot.
I think the one score that impressed me from Model this year was, they turned the ball over 5 times against Norville, and they still only gave up 21 points to them.
Yeah, that was the first game of the year, and Norville didn't have a lot of the players then.
I was there. I was a witness. Norville turned it over about 4 or 5 times that game too. I officiated that game. It was at Model.
It was a mess.
It was a turnover fest. I'll tell you that much. I do know this, and I know we're gonna get to 6 AAA in a minute. Zach Lyles was a beast. He definitely was a beast. But Model, they wasn't even. It appeared they weren't even trying to get to the end zone. They just want to run enough plays, and that's how it looked. So yeah, I was there for that one. I remember that one.
I know we got a couple of Chattooga Indian fans in here, man, but I didn't have the guts on our preseason show to go with my gut and pick the Chattooga Indians to win it, but I wish I had, because I think they got the best chance of anybody of beating Fannin, especially the way they're playing right now. They have 3 or 4 guys on offense that can score.
I'm not gonna lie. I think that Dade County and the magic formula they figured out for stopping DJ Rogers. I think if they go up there and apply that to Seth Reese, I think that game's going to be a whole lot closer. I mean, I don't know if anybody saw Dade County and Mount Zion, but they gave Mount Zion all they could handle.
Dade played Mount Zion good. Man, Dade shot themselves in the foot in that game by getting a lot of unsportsmanlike conduct penalties. They had like 150 yards of penalties in that game.
Yeah, I think they had 14 penalties, and they were just they were overhyped. He had no way of putting the brakes on them. and it cost them big time. But I think that Dade and Chattooga both will play Fannin good. I think that the problem is going to be is, Chattooga always struggles with Pepperell. So it doesn't matter, what athletes they put on the field. Chattooga always struggles with Pepperell. So they're going to have a big one there, and that's the last game of the year. And they're going to come off of back-to-back weeks traveling to Fannin and then having Pepperell come in at home. So I think they got a better shot against Pepperell than they do against Fannin. That Fannin game is going to be tough because Seth Reese is all that and then some. He goes down as my highest ranked player that gets no college love. I don't know who was recruiting him. He's not talking about it, but I haven't seen him getting any offers or anything. And he's a freaking beast.
Do you guys have my audio?
Yeah, we got you.
Okay. Yeah, just making sure. No, I agree with Levi on some of that, especially about Seth Reese. I mean, it was the same way with the quarterback at Fannin last year. Guy was a beast and didn't get a lot of love. But as far as go ahead.
No,
he was. Yep. No, I completely agree. And just to throw my opinion on 7AA up here, Model's got a decent defense. They play tough. They play smart. They don't have much of an offense. I haven't seen Dade yet. I really wish that Dade Trine game hadn't got canceled because I think that would have been a really good football game. I know Pepperell's got a little bit of struggles, but they've also got some athletes. I'm picking Fannin County, and I can't speak to the Fannin Dade game because I haven't seen Dade. But and no disrespect to Chattooga, I'm a Chattooga County guy, and my son played at Chattooga for a couple of years, but I think Fannin County wins that game by double digits. So that's just my thought on 7AA.
They'll be a big favorite. I know that.
Yeah.
Lawrence's line will be 15 plus. I bet.
Yeah, I didn't get to see the box score last week from the Model game. How did they score 28 points in the first quarter? Was it turnovers? Was it offense? I mean,
I don't know how they scored 28.
I was shocked when I saw they were up 28. Yeah, I was shocked when I saw they were up 28-0 after the first quarter.
Wait, they played Coosa, right?
Yeah.
Now I know how.
Eagle fans, we apologize for Benton Bird.
Sorry.
Yeah, you can pay him back Friday night.
Coosa's just in a real down period, and they're I don't think they beat Gordon Central, to be honest with you. They're in a real bad way right now. And Gordon Central has little they showed against Chattooga, if they get a moment of protection back there, which their offensive line basically never gives that poor quarterback Wilson. But if he has a moment, he's got two little receivers that he can hit. I mean, he victimized the defensive backs a couple of times against Chattooga and put together a long drive. And I think they can do that. I think the offensive line of Gordon Central can give Wilson a little time against Coosa, and they can score some points. I just don't see Coosa scoring points.
I actually got that game next week. They moved it up to next Thursday. I got Coosa and Gordon Central at Coosa.
Yeah, I'm going to that one.
I might have to go watch that one.
Yeah.
Please don't do that.
What was that? That's holding. That's holding.
I'm not even gonna take a flag out there. I don't even plan on taking a flag to that game.
It's really a battle for pride, and I think that Gordon Central's fan base, their coaching staff, everybody down there's fired up about the team, and they, I think I figured it out the other day. They've won like 12 games since they've moved down, and they're like 12-38 or 11-38 since they moved down, and they had a winless season. Their first 2015, the winless season going, and TJ always has them, mentally ready. The kids just can't. Sean Gray does well. That little McGinnis, tiny little boy, reminds me of Riley Chapman from Model. Just a super undersized kid. Looks like he's probably 5'2" and maybe 94 pounds, but he can run. He's a fighter, little fighter kid. And I see Gordon Central beating Coosa.
That's going to be an interesting game, man. Gordon Central and Coosa, and I'm also eager to see, like you were just saying, the Chattooga Pepperell game. that is at the end of the season. I mean, it's a lot of good football left because what it's looking like, you got 5 teams vying for 4 spots for the playoffs. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, every game at this point in the region, the Model Pepperell game, Chattooga Pepperell, Chattooga Model, the top 5 teams are jockeying for 4 spots. So, I mean, it's going to be real interesting.
Yeah, the way I see it is this region has 4 teams vying for the top 2 spots. I don't think Model, Coosa, and Gordon Central stand any kind of a chance of making the playoffs. But the 4 teams that do make it have to go visit those 5 AA teams, and nobody wants to be number 4. Nobody wants to face the winner of that. I mean, I was there when Chattooga went and faced Callaway, and it was ugly. So, nobody wants to be the number 4 spot. Nobody really wants to be the number 3 spot. So whether it's Fannin, Dade, and Chattooga battling for those top 3, I don't those top 2 spots. I don't know, but I know that it's a battle for those top 2 spots, and there's only 4 teams in the running, and that's Fannin, Dade, Chattooga, and Pepperell.
All right, we'll start with that. We'll start with Michael Atwater down there again. Let's hear your predictions.
Lawrence, if you don't see at the bottom of the screen, tonight I am Reverend Atwater. I would like to be called Reverend Atwater tonight. Okay,
we're gonna start with.
Don't
Reverend.
Call me by my full government name. I am it's Reverend Atwater tonight. I will be preaching later tonight. So call me Reverend, Lawrence. If you call me Michael again, I'm gonna mute your mic. Okay, call me Reverend Atwater. I repeat after me, Lawrence. Reverend. Yes,
Reverend Atwater.
Amen.
We didn't give him those kind of capabilities, did we, Lawrence?
No, he didn't. He didn't give me those capabilities. You saying with the region, I'm going Fannin 1. I'm actually going Chattooga 2. I'm going Dade 3 and Pepperell 4.
Well, I'm giving you 3 names: Xander Cook, Carter Lowenberg, and Billy Settlemore. The 3-man front on Chattooga's defense. I think that they're going to be enough to shock the world, along with my man, the double deuce, Rowan Burdick. I think that the defense finds a way to stop Seth Reese. I put Chattooga number 1, Fannin number 2, Dade number 3, and Pepperell number 4.
Chris? Paul?
Uh-oh.
We lost. You got muted, Paul. Yeah. Check your mute button.
I'm out.
Muted.
Gotcha. Should have called him Rev.
Amen.
Michael needs to put a miracle. Let's see a miracle, man.
I'm trying to work it now. I'm working it now. I'm working it.
Paul, check your mute button. There you go.
Right. You guys got me?
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay. I'm going to go with Fannin 1, Dade 2, Chattooga 3, and Pepperell 4. I agree with Levi. I know all those kids he's talking about. Cole grew up with those guys. I kind of grew up coaching those kids, and I believe in them, and I'm pulling for them. But for some reason, my gut says Fannin 1, Dade 2, Chattooga 3, Pepperell 4.
Chris?
I'm going Fannin, Dade, Pepperell, Chattooga. I know Benton and everybody's going to hate me now, but I really believe in DJ Rogers can get it going.
All right, I'm wanting to go with my gut, but I'm a chicken again. I want to say Chattooga 1 because I like Burdick. Man, Burdick's one of my favorite players in Northwest Georgia.
Man, what are you talking about, man? That kid, man.
But I'm a chicken, and I'm gonna go Fannin, Dade, Chattooga, Pepperell.
Man, can I just comment real quick about Rowan Burdick? Yeah. I hadn't had a lot of Chattooga games over the last couple of years, but I had the last Chattooga game I had was last year against Pepperell at Pepperell. Literally, y'all, if Rowan Burdick didn't make the tackle, he was somewhere around the tackle. So if somebody really just counted how many times that kid made a tackle, hit, or whatever, he probably had 25, 30 tackles that night. When I say he is, he gets to the football, he's talkative on the field, but when he comes up and hits you, like he hit a kid, he hit Rogers. That's who he hit. He hit Rogers one play. I thought I was going to the sideline. That's how hard he hit it. I'm talking about he's out there laying wood. And the thing about it, y'all, he's not out there hitting kids to get them hurt, or he trying to make a statement. He makes a tackle. He go right back to the huddle, But when I say he's hitting the kid, man, he is laying folks out there for real. And he's probably about 5'10", look like he about 170, 180. But college coaches, and I got a lot of college coaches out there. Hey, man, if y'all don't take a look at 22 and especially number 6 in Chattooga, I don't know what else to tell you. For real.
Yeah.
Oh, and definitely look at my hero, number 7 at trying, man. That Cole Caven, man. Man, I would, if I'm trying, no disrespect to trying people out there, because I love y'all and trying. I would throw the ball to Cole Caven 10 to 15 times a night. I don't care where if we get inside the goal, like the 10, jump ball. Every play.
Yeah.
Every play, man. He should be getting
in rec ball.
He should be averaging 5 to 10 conversions a night.
Well, I appreciate that.
Conversion went straight to Cole Caven. He caught every play.
Well, I appreciate that, obviously, as Cole's dad. But I also agree with you about Rowan and some of those guys from Chattooga. Like, I've known and helped coach Rowan since he was a kid, and I'm telling you what, he is one of the most underrated players in the area. That kid will hit you. He will hit anybody at any time. And that goes back to when he was 7 or 8 years old. And he's just fun to watch play.
Yeah, he is a.
All right, Ben, what you got?
The best.
Yeah.
Is Ben still awake up there?
I'm still awake.
Yeah. It's just, everybody's been cutting Ben off, and he's the 7AA kind of expert here.
No, you're good, man. Honestly, I've thought a lot about it, and I think the trip to Fannin, everybody having to go to Fannin just weighs on me a lot. So I'm going to go with Fannin.
Yep.
But then I'm going to go with Chattooga hosting as well. I'm going to go Chattooga second, and then we'll go Dade and Pepperell at 4, because I just think Chattooga owes Dade after that loss last year. That left a sour taste in about 15 seniors' mouth.
The quarterback sneak for the win
against Dade.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't Chattooga get beat by Gordon Central last year?
No, it was Dade County that beat them last year.
Dade County.
For some reason, I thought Chattooga played Gordon Central like on one of them off days, like a Wednesday or Thursday.
They did.
It was a tight game, but
it was part of the 5 games in 19 days, and they had to come back in the fourth quarter. Matter of fact, Rowan hit their big quarterback, that big old boy, stripped the ball and recovered the fumble, and Chattooga mounted a winning drive.
All right, let's move on to Chris's expertise here. 6 AAA.
Yeah.
You talk about loaded regions, buddy. Chris Napier, you got a loaded region right here.
Let's hear it, Chris.
This is 9 teams. Getting to the playoffs is half the fun here. You've got your own playoff race in the regular season. If you look, Ringgold and Rockmart, they are in the driver's seats right now for the 2 home playoff games, 1 and 2. The exciting thing is I think both of them are heavily favored in the remaining games. I think each of them's got Adairsville, which is going to be tough for them. But these 2 will meet at the end of the season, at the final game of the season. And if both of these teams show up, I mean, they could show up 7-0 in the final game of the season in region play. So you'll have a true championship game on the final game. So that'll be exciting for the region. If you look at the 1-loss teams, you got Adairsville and Lafayette. I think a Lafayette schedule is absolutely tough. It's like a murderer's row. The old Yankees lineup, it was so tough because you had one right after another. I think that's kind of what Lafayette's schedule is. I mean, the remaining games for Lafayette are at Ringgold, Coahulla Creek, at Sonorville, Rockmart, and North Murray. I mean, that's tough.
Mm.
So, and I think, though, if you look at the 2 1-loss teams, I think Adairsville is in a much better place to get a playoff spot of the 1-loss team. And then you got your 3 2-loss teams. You got North Murray has already played and beat Coahulla Creek and Sonorville. And so I think they're in a little bit better shape as a 2-loss team than the other 2. With Coahulla Creek and Sonorville, they're in a position where, your back's against the wall. These are, tough games from here on out. You're gonna have to show up every Friday. But I mean, you never know what could happen. So, but with Murray County and LFO already eliminated, those are also two teams still on North Murray's schedule. That's why I think they are in a better position than Creek and Sonoraville as two lost teams.
Anybody
well, Chris,
have
jump right into your prediction with Ringgold and Rockmart. I mean, I think they're head and shoulders above the rest of the region here, but how evenly matched really are they?
I would still give the edge to Rockmart. I would still like Rockmart in that game because Rockmart's at home. I know that the computer ratings would give you just a wild off the wall number for that game. I think those kind of ratings you can just pretty much throw out the window in a game like that, because when you see your goal is in sight at arm's length, heart outweighs algorithms and computer rankings. So there's no telling what can happen that game. I would give the edge to Rockmart just because they've been there before, and it's been a while since Ringgold has been in a position like that.
Yeah, and I think the points for and points against, Ringgold has already played Murray, and wasn't it Murray they beat 77-0 or whatever?
I had that game. Yes.
Yes.
Ringgold.
Yes, I think
Murray
the
County
against are a little skewed.
Yeah, they beat Murray County.
I think Mr. Atwater said he was tired of running up and down the field that game.
Yeah, Ringgold beat Murray County that night, 78-0. It was 51-0 at the half. The Murray County coach came out and said he did not want to run the clock. So yes, I refereed that game that Friday with Ringgold and Murray, and Ringgold has about 5 or 6 athletes, man. Corey Dumas, Peyton Williams, Malachi Hill, Kyle White, and all those. They've got some athletes at Ringgold that I'm not gonna say they got as many athletes as Rockmart, but I will say that game will be interesting for a while. I'm not gonna say Ringgold. I mean, Rockmart is just gonna run through Ringgold at night, but that game is gonna be really interesting between Rockmart and Ringgold, because Ringgold is very senior laden, and you never know what happens when you got a bunch of seniors out there. Rockmart is not a senior laden team. They've got a lot of
Chris, I think
both of them
I think both of them have very potent offenses. But Chris, I really think that Ringgold's defense brings a little more to the table than Rockmart's defense. So I think that where Rockmart will score on Ringgold's defense, I think Ringgold's offense will have better success scoring against Rockmart's defense than vice versa.
I really like Rockmart's linebackers, their core linebackers, and they got a really good young one too, and Brent Washington.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. Rockmart. Well, if we talk about the Adairsville and Rockmart, Ringgold, and Lafayette, North Murray, I had mentioned 4 guys in the preseason for Offensive Player of the Year, and these 4 teams I just mentioned, they each have one of those players, and then they're all having exceptional years. Jorian Haynes with Rockmart, he hasn't had as many touches, I think, to generate the stats to get into the Player of the Year, simply because Rockmart's loaded with athletes. And so you have a very balanced attack there. I like Dennis Sims. Dennis Sims is having a great year. Jakari Clark is a great receiver. I think he can play at the next level. There's a lot of athletes there. But then you take a look at Ringgold, Corey Dumas, and Peyton Williams is a guy. He's a junior. He's had a phenomenal year so far, and it's a guy we didn't really notice much last year. Kyle White. I really like Malachi Hill as receiver, and Javon Coney, Mason Parker at quarterback. So, like I said earlier, I mean, I know Rockmart's got the advantage being at home, being defending champ, and the computer rankings will say that, but I could throw it all out the windows, because you never know what can happen when the adrenaline gets up, because your goal is within sight. So I think it's going to be a much closer game than everybody thinks it is. I mean, I would still give the slight edge to Rockmart in that game. As far as going forward with the region, first we can go back to Murray County and Ringgold. I know a lot of I know there was a lot of comments made.
Please don't, Chris. Please don't.
I know there was a lot of comments of people upset and thought that Ringgold, was doing that, as maliciously running the score up. But I watched the game. I went back and watched it, and that's not really the case. The JV was in the second half, and you can't stop kick returns and stuff like that. So
and Murray County asked for the standard clock. They turned down the running clock.
And I think that's actually helped them get the JV play, get these younger guys out there in the second half. I think they
didn't help us referees, Chris. It didn't help us a lot. Sorry, Chris. I just had to vent real quick. Excuse me. I apologize.
Well, hey, Chris, I think all of us can agree that Rockmart and Ringgold are going to take the 1 and 2 spots, or we feel strongly that Rockmart and Ringgold are going to take the 1 and 2 spots. That leaves a 3-way battle in my mind. Adairsville, North Murray, and Sonoraville have the best shot. I know a lot of people said Lafayette, but you just mentioned their upcoming schedule is basically eliminates them of picking. Other than Coahulla Creek, I think they'll be underdogs in every game from here on out, which leaves Adairsville, Sonoraville, and North Murray. And North Murray, the Mountaineers already have the win over Sonoraville. So I think North Murray has the edge for one of those 2 remaining spots.
Yeah, and you're going to look at coming up on October 29th, North Murray and Adairsville face off. That'll be a big one. And then the other big one is going to be October 15th. That is Adairsville will host Sonoraville. That is a very, very important game.
That's a bit of a grudge match now, too.
Yes, that is a kind of become a big rivalry. So keep an eye on that one because a lot of there could be a lot of movement real quick, and then we could find out who's who after that game. So we'll know who's who. And
I think Eli Agnew and Zach Lyles are going to be buttoned up right there. Eli Agnew is a real weapon for Adairsville, and Zach Lyles has the benefit of Jackson Pate at QB is really settling in and coming along and developing. And that gigantic receiver he's got, Ridge Red, and the little kid Nick Beddington, and the other kid, Bryant, number 30,
Bryant.
Brant Bryant, who can fly. Yeah,
and I like what I see out of Ridge Red. He's a guy we mentioned in the preseason. He has really come on strong. I think he had his first varsity touchdown this year. He's a junior, but he's a big kid, and he's looking like he's working himself right into that offense as not only hands down tight end, but being able to split out as receiver. So he's he's a big 6'4", 220-pound target. So I like him. And you mentioned Eli Agnew earlier. That's one of the 4 players I had picked as a potential offensive player of the year in the preseason, along with Dumas and Seth Griffin and Jordan Haynes. So that Sonoraville Adairsville matchup, I just think whoever's got the better running back that night, I think that could make it.
I think that one holds the key to the 4th team in the playoffs. That game, right there, October 5th, that holds the key.
And I would lean Adairsville there just because of I really, really like that Adairsville offensive line. I like the entire unit. Those guys are great. Every person on there, they work together as a unit, and there's a lot of talent there with those 5. So I'd give the edge there just for that offensive line.
Hey, Chris, right now, if you had to give a offensive player of the year in Region 6 AAA, who would it be?
Right now, it'd be Corey Dumas, Ringgold.
Yeah, how many yards? Every game has been 100+ for him. He's been a machine. He's been a consistent machine.
Yeah, I think he had that 180 in the first quarter there at Murray, and 4 touchdowns.
See, you brought it up again, Chris. You did it again.
Yeah, he had 4 touchdowns in the first quarter.
Michael, did you wear your Fitbit that game?
Man, we ran that night. They said it was 5.7 miles in that game that night. The game I had Coahulla Creek and North Murray, we ran like 7 miles that night.
Yeah.
And when you're a fat boy, a thick boy like myself, that running, that adds up. It's bad on the ankles. It's bad on the ankles.
It's good for you.
I do want to talk about this though, because Coahulla Creek is a team that's similar to our Murchie. It's a team that is always, well, not necessarily. I guess Coahulla Creek is a program that's been around, 4 years? 4 or 5 years, I guess.
9 or 10 now.
9-10 years.
Yeah.
And Coahulla Creek
You're getting
is
old,
4-2. Yeah, I am. Yeah, I am. But Coahulla Creek is a win away from having a 500 season. What do you guys think about Coahulla Creek this season, man? Because this is really
I think
been
they get that
impressive
win over Lafayette. I think they get that win over Lafayette. I think that's their 5th win.
And let me talk about Coahulla Creek. The difference in them this season, you could find in the game film from last Friday. They went at Murray County, and it was Murray County's homecoming. They went in the halftime at 22-7. They were down. The old Coahulla Creek would have folded. This team went to halftime in the locker room, said, what do we got to do to win? And they believe they can win. And they come out in that second half and they won the football game. That's the difference. They believe they can win. And that's the biggest difference I see in this team.
And they got a quarterback.
Yeah, Case Kinnaman, he's awesome. I mean,
the kid can move the. Hey, I tell you what, Case Kinnaman can do is move the chains and extend drives. That's what their quarterback can do now. And that Coahulla Creek has never been able to do that. Just consistently move the chains.
Yeah, and a big part of their offensive that probably could get them to 500 this year. Locklear and Baker and Kinnaman, they're big three. And most good defenses, you can stop 3 playmakers. I think the emergence of Peyton Gordon and Aiden Patterson and Robbie Wiggins and has really helped them offensively, because if you can stop 3 good playmakers, you run into problems when you're talking about 5 or 6. So I think their emergence of the younger guys coming up has really helped Coahulla Creek this year.
All right, we'll start with the Reverend Atwater, if he's still there.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
Your top 4 in 6 AAA.
I'm going Rockmart 1, Ringgold 2, Adairsville 3, North Murray 4.
How about it, Mr. Burdick?
I've got Ringgold shocking the world and knocking off Rockmart. While I also have North Murray pulling it out for the number 3 spot, and Jeb Knight, the linebacker for Sonoraville, slowing down the Eli Agnew effect enough for Sonoraville to upset Adairsville at home. So I've got Ringgold, Rockmart, North Murray, Sonoraville.
Wow.
Chris?
I'm going Rockmart, Ringgold, Adairsville, North Murray.
And I'm going to go Rockmart, Ringgold, North Murray, and I got to stick with my preseason favorite, the Sonoraville Phoenix at 4. Benton?
Yeah, I like Rockmart, Ringgold, North Murray, and then Sonoraville. That's what I like.
All right, let's move on to 7-4A.
You guys got me?
Yeah. I believe everybody has a consensus top pick here, right?
Yeah.
I just wanted to say, I really appreciate Chris's analysis on the AAA region. I'm not as up to date on them as some of you guys are, but I just don't see ring.
Uh-oh, we've lost him again.
He's going in and out, ain't he?
Yeah.
Yep. You got me?
Yeah.
We got you.
Yep. I'm going to go with the Ringgold, Rockmart, North Murray, and Adairsville.
Awesome. All right, 7-4A. Does anybody have anybody other than Cedartown at number 1?
No.
Does anybody have anybody coming within 20 points of Cedartown at number 1?
Nope.
Nope.
I thought maybe Pickens last week would have gave them a fair game, but I mean they absolutely destroyed Pickens.
Honestly, we could see Cedartown go through region play without surrendering a point. Their defense is awesome.
Yeah, they held Pickens to 63 total yards last week, and Pickens to me was the second best team in the region coming in.
Yeah, if anybody does it, I think it's going to be happen at Northwest Whitfield. They might put some points up. They're got some pretty talented receivers that might give them some problems. But man, Cedartown is just tough. They are just tough.
Yeah, I know. Northwest is going to Cedartown this Friday, and I do that pick 'em and with the point spread, et cetera, et cetera. And I mean, the Bulldogs are 35-point favorites, and
What should I expect this Friday in my game, guys? I got Pickens at Ridgeland. What should I expect?
Pickens is a 17-point favorite. I think it's going to be a decent game. You might not have to run too much.
That's good. Good to hear.
But yeah, who do you guys have finishing here in the top 4?
I like Northwest Whitfield. I think their win over Central on Friday was huge in how this all plays out. I think if Pickens beats Central, you're going to see the final game of the season. It will be a Northwest Whitfield and Pickens matchup. I think it's at Northwest, and I think that is going to be huge. It's going to be one of the bigger ball games that is played in this region this year. Heritage plays Central
Friday night. Yeah,
Friday night. I think we'll learn a lot about Heritage. I think the only region game they've played so far is Ridgeland, so we'll get to see them. I'm not counting Central out. I think they could still compete that third spot. I really like them at that third spot. They've got some young guys that are just really, really good.
Yeah, that game Friday night is going to be real important. That Heritage at Central. I think if Heritage goes down to Central and wins that game, they'll finish at number 2 in the region. And like I said, we don't really know that much about them right now. They missed a lot of games with COVID, and but Caden Swoop, he had 200 plus yards Friday night and put up 58 points on the Panthers. But if they can go down to Carroll County and come back with a win,
it's going to be tough. I really like. They have a kid named Cameron Bolton. He's a freshman running back.
Yes, sir.
He reminds me a lot of another freshman running back I saw about 4 or 5 years ago, named Deontay Tidwell. About the same size. I think he's maybe a step slower. There's not a lot of people with Deontay's speed, but he reminds me a lot of it. And he's having a great freshman year. And if he gets away from you, he's gone. And I just don't know how Heritage will handle his speed. So we'll have to wait and see.
All right, Reverend, how about your top 4?
Cedartown 1, Heritage 2, Northwest 3, Central 4.
Paul?
I kind of agree with the Reverend there. I think.
Amen, Paul. Amen.
I just I just think that Cedartown, far and away the best team. Northwest Whitfield probably far and away number 2. So yeah, I agree. I agree with the Reverend.
Chris,
I'm going Cedartown, Northwest, Pickens, and Central.
Yeah, I like Cedartown, Northwest, Heritage, Pickens. Benton?
Yeah, I like Cedartown, Northwest, Heritage, Pickens.
I think Benton.
I think we lost Benton there.
He's playing Candy Crush or something.
Cedartown, Heritage. Man, I really like. All right, I'll go Cedartown, Heritage, Northwest, and Pickens. I like Pickens in the 4 seed.
Pickens in the 4 seed. All right, let's move on to the big 7-5A here, which is or is it 7 or 6? 7.
7-5.
I think this is a group of 3 teams. You got one group of 3 at the top and one group of 3 at the bottom that are going to battle it out.
And you already see them 1-0, 1-0, 1-0.
Yep. Cartersville, Calhoun, Blessed Trinity are going to battle it out for that 1, 2, 3 spot, and then Woodland, Cass, and Hiram for that final spot.
Yeah.
And if I had to pick right now, Cartersville, Calhoun, Blessed Trinity, 1, 2, 3, and I think Cass slides into the 4 spot.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm going with that. Blessed Trinity, they got Cartersville and Calhoun both back to back, I think, at home. So I think both of them games are going to be at Blessed Trinity. And, Blessed Trinity got probably one of the top running backs in the 2023 class in Justin Haynes. So this is a big next couple of weeks. But that last game of the season, if Calhoun and Cartersville some kind of way can be undefeated in region play, that last game, I think the last game of the regular season is Calhoun at Cartersville.
Standing room only for that one.
Man, it's going to probably be 30,000 people there.
Yep. It'll be 30,000 inside and 40,000 outside.
Yeah, it's going to be an unbelievable game there, boy. So, and even if they both take a loss to Blessed Trinity, that game still is going to be standing room only.
Oh, yeah. Anything else on that region there?
No, I think we all agree the top three and then Cass. Did anybody see Hiram sliding in? Woodlands?
No.
I like Cass.
No, you got it. Cartersville, Calhoun, Blessed Trinity, and Cass.
All right, big boys here. Douglas County sitting up there undefeated right now. They still haven't played Carrollton or Rome yet. I think Carrollton and Rome both get them. If that's the case, Rome winds up 1, Carrollton 2, Douglas County 3. And I know South Paulding is the favorite right now to slide into the 4, but I like Alexander get that 4 spot. I'm still know what happened in that South Paulding game. South Paulding beat Rome, and then they go up to Dalton, and Dalton plays them close. So I don't know if that was just full moon or what that night.
They showed up pumped for Rome. I still like. I like Rome at number 1. We may go. They hold the tie break, so if Rome and Carrollton went out, which could happen. I still like Rome at that 1 spot. Their defensive line is awesome. I like watching their defense play.
Who you got at, Water?
I got Rome. I got Rome winning the region. I think that Douglas County game is going to be big, but I just don't see anybody left in the regular season defeating Rome. But I got Rome running the table. I think Carrollton is going to finish 2, Douglas County 3, and I still like South Paulding. I like South Paulding. I think they'll be a 4 seed.
Who did Rome play before South Paulding?
They played Collins Hill.
Collins Hill, yeah. I wonder if
What'd you say, Paul? We couldn't hear you. I can't hear.
Yeah.
He's muted again.
Uh-oh.
I think his mic or something's going on.
You guys got me?
Yeah, we got you
now.
Yeah, I wonder if that South Paulding game wasn't a hangover.
Well, Collins Hill came in here with the number 1 player in America, Travis Hunter, and they put on a show, kind of like what Marietta did to Rome. I guess about 2 years ago with Eric Gilbert and Harrison Bailey and those guys. You just played a whole nother level going up playing in 7A. But Rome, and I would say Coach Reed is a hell of a coach, man, because nobody gave Rome a chance against Carrollton. Nobody that picked football game, none of us really gave Rome a chance. Nobody really statewide gave Rome a chance. And they blew Carrollton out. He came in with a game plan, and they blew Carrollton out. And a lot of people don't realize or remember this, but when Rome went on their state championship run those 2-3 years, Rome started out 1-2. Rome was defeated by Kell and I think Carrollton. And after that 1-2 start that year, Rome won 12 straight to win the state. Then they came back and won it again next year. So this could have been a start of something for Rome in 6A. When you look at 6A, you know about Beaufort, Lee County, Westlake, but I think they definitely. I think Carrollton is a team that's gonna still get a chance to go make a run to the playoffs. So That's the beauty about state playoffs now. See, when we were coming up, it started out with the one team from your region go to the state playoffs. That's it. And then it advanced to 2 teams from the region. But now you could have a semifinal with all 4 teams from your region playing each other. You really could. I mean, it probably don't happen most of the time, but you could have the same 4 teams playing each other in the semifinal. So that's the beauty of expanding in the state playoffs.
It says right here, whoever finished second in 6A this year will go to Lee County the second round. That's tough, man. So you don't want to finish. You don't want to finish second.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of wonder if teams do this, but if I was Carrollton, I'd almost want to fall back to the third, you know?
Boy, Carrollton and Lee County second round? Good.
Second round.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know a whole bunch about the region, but I know Rome and Carrollton. I like them 1 and 2. I see them both as legit contenders to be able to play with some of them South Georgia teams.
You guys have been around coaches more than I have, man. So I'm gonna ask y'all a question. It's something I've always wondered. Do you think teams play for playoff positioning? I mean, like maybe if you lose a game, you get a better spot in the playoffs. You think that ever happened?
You play to win the game.
You play to win every time you step on the field, regardless of what happens after that.
If you don't, you need to hang it up.
Yep.
In my opinion.
I had somebody send me a question earlier this week, too, about Dalton. You know, Dalton played Calhoun so well that first week of the season. Did they just overachieve in that first game, or they had some people get hurt since then, or what?
Well, looking at their points against numbers, the defense, it looks like it might be the issue. They've gave up 244 points already, and that's far and away more than – I mean, look at Alexander giving up 77 points on the year versus 244. Yeah. In this region, I'll go ahead and start it off at the top. I like Rome and then Carrollton. Sorry, Carrollton, you'll be at Lee County.
Yeah.
And then honestly, I think I'll go with Douglas and then Alexander at the 4. I think South Paulding. I had a little comment saying that South Paulding's head coach resigned the week of the Rome game. You know, you don't like a temporary situation. I really don't. So.
Yeah, I go with that same 4. You know, I saw South Paulding at Dalton, and they didn't look like a number 2 seed to me in 6A. I think they played over their head against Rome, and I think they'll come back to earth when they start playing some of these other teams. Rome, Carrollton, Douglas County, Alexander.
I like the same. Rome, Carrollton, Douglas, Alexander.
Paul?
Yeah, if you guys got me, I feel the same way.
Reverend?
Yeah, Rome, Carrollton, Douglas County, and I kind of like South Paulding at number 4 seed.
Okay.
All right, guys. I think that concludes all our playoff predictions for the night, huh?
Yeah, I think that'll be everybody. Oh, there's that reclassification stuff that we talked about. But
I want to thank Paul and the ever popular Reverend Atwater for joining us tonight.
Amen.
You guys coming on?
Amen.
Is there? I know everybody's looking to jump off here, but is there any local teams that we've talked about tonight in these regions that that we know of right offhand that could be affected by the 3.0 multiplier?
I think Carrollton is going to move up. Carrollton probably going to move up to 7A, and maybe Rome again.
I don't know where Cartersville will that move Cartersville up, being a city school.
I saw Rome and Cartersville both being 6, Carrollton will be in 7, Bremen, Gordon Central, and I saw Pepperell will all go to 3.
Yeah, Pepperell and Bremen, they will go to 3. Yeah.
Bremen had 211 out of zone, and they were the 3rd largest AA school. So Bremen, should move up.
Yeah. That might jumble up some other classifications next season when you're talking about adding 3A teams.
I'm just hoping my Indians and Trine stay down in single A. I know Paul will like this. I was talking to Coach Green a few weeks ago. He said the kids in school right now don't even know who Trine is.
Well,
back in the 80s and 90s, our Murphy Trine was the game. They hated each other. But now, I mean, these kids don't.
I mean, when I was in high school, it was Armuchee and Tryon was a big game. You know, that was when Rome High School kind of became a team, and a lot of the guys that didn't want to play together went to Armuchee. So, but as far as how it's going to affect Region 6A, I don't know.
Armuchee is the largest single-A public school.
But the 3.0 multiplier doesn't apply to single A, right?
No, if their enrollment is under whatever the single-A threshold is. So whatever that number, I don't know if it'll change or not. It just depends on how the teams balance out, you know.
Well,
right now,
and here,
go ahead.
Well, here's another thing. You know, Tryon is a 6A, or they're a city school.
Yeah. Did that say that last comment? Did that say that Calhoun would be affected also?
Yeah. Calhoun has a lot of kids out of district.
Yeah, so I take it they're going to 6A.
That'd be crazy to have Rome, Cartersville, and Calhoun in the same.
Oh wow.
Region.
Boy. That's one thing Georgia High School Association need to try to figure out. They need to figure out a way where you got a region with 3 teams and that leaves a region with a bye, or you got a region with 4 teams and you got a team getting in the playoffs. Like, for an example, Hiram got in the playoff last year, y'all. I think they was 1-9. They were the number 4 seed out of the region with Cass and Cartersville and all that. Something's got to be done about it. I don't know what can be done.
Well, we
had
had
to do something about that.
Yeah, we had something. We had in 3A, we had 2 teams in the playoffs last year with 2-8 records. So I think we had a 2-8 and a 1-9 in the playoffs, and that's why I'm a huge advocate for that at-large bid, bringing back the point system. I think it really benefits 6 AAA. I think we send 5 this year if we had that at-large bid. And, you know, with having 9 teams in our region, we're kind of at a disadvantage. We're going to have a 6-4 team sitting at home in the playoffs, while some of the other smaller regions are going to send a 2-8 team this year, or 3-7. I think it's a little unfair. I just wish something would be done about it, like he's saying.
I know too. It's kind of hard to do this without getting a computer involved, and everybody hates computers except for me. And I would love to see them seed the top 32 teams from 1 to 32, no matter where they're from. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it would make for better playoffs. I mean, you wouldn't have Carrollton and Lee County playing in the second round.
Well, don't they do that out in California? Don't they have a open division, or is Texas somewhere they do an open thing?
Yeah, they actually use the Cal Preps rankings in California to seed everybody. That's where the Cal Preps comes
from. The open thing.
All righty.
Well, all right, guys. I guess we're done till Friday night, huh?
Yep. I will be on Friday night.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, thanks for coming on.
Where you going to be at, Chris?
I will be at home. Southeast comes to play North Murray. I'll be at that game, so I'll be on with you shortly after. I should be able to help you out with the whole show.
Sweet. Lawrence?
Yeah, I'll actually be back in time to be on the show too, man. I thought I was going to be down in Lakewood till midnight, but they changed the game to 5:30 p.m. So hopefully I can get back by 10. I don't know.
Wow.
What the drive is like down there.
That's an early game. 5:30.
Go in there and see what Best Academy is all about.
Yeah. What game you got, Rev?
I got Ridgeland, and I got Pickens at Ridgeland. But immediately following that game, I won't be able to be on the show. I've got an appointment at the tanning bed, so I will not be on the show Friday night. I'm going to the tanning bed immediately following the game. Kind of tone the skin up. So I'll actually come on the show a little later Friday night after I leave the tanning bed. Lawrence, is that okay,
Michael,
Lawrence? Is that okay with you?
Michael, after we get off the air, I'm gonna need for you to send me the number of that tanning bed, man, because it's working pretty good.
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I get a tan every 2-3 weeks, so I'll be going this Friday night after the game, after I leave Ridgeland. So once I get out of the tanning bed, and come to think of it, Lawrence, I don't think it's none of your business what tanning bed I go to. Okay, let me clear that up with you first. I don't need you looking for what tanning bed I attend.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Reverend.
Red.
Oh,
right.
Who's trying?
Hey, I appreciate the opportunity to come on with you guys. Trying's off this week.
Well, you're a Chattooga guy. We'll see you down at Coosa Friday night.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, maybe so. Yeah, Chattooga will be at Coosa Friday night, so should be interesting.
All right, guys.
All right, guys. We'll see you Friday.
I'm out of here.
Everybody back on.
See y'all guys Friday night, man.
All right, Michael.
See
All right, man.
See y'all.